got on my pajamas.
And I was gonna
My
say that's
lounge wear. Oh, sorry.
Your lounge wear.
I got on my
I was
lounge.
gonna put my I was like, oh,
I got on my lounge wear
no.
and it's camo because I'm
kind of
feeling
show we
kind of
got going on.
rar.
You know, right?
I thought of you. I did eyebrows. I did eyes. I did lips. And I did
Lips.
some cheeks.
You got to the gym today or no?
I did. No, I didn't go to the gym. I walked 2 miles.
Oh, okay.
Lavelle, you ready? We're ready to record. We'll press record.
I'm ready.
Okay, cool.
Sorry I'm late.
Oh, that's a good.
Unacceptable.
Don't listen to her. We were just about to start when you came on. Okay, and 1, 2, 3. Hello, and welcome back to Date with the Divas. We hope you have been enjoying our videos. If you haven't subscribed, please take a second and click on that subscribe button. And don't forget to like our videos. Also, click that notification bell. You won't regret it because the Divas are a sure thing. Okay, Entourage, grab your beverage of choice. And let's see what Marnita has in store for us. Marnita?
All right, Divas. All right, Entourage. We're gonna try to keep it light and fun tonight. Just want your opinions on a couple of snippets of things that's been in the news. Gotta say, a Diva's been sick, so I didn't really get a chance to get into my research as I should. So I may not have all the background on all these stories, but that's okay. We just gonna give our opinion on the little tidbits that we know. All right.
Our opinion and the entourage. That's all that counts.
Exactly. So first off, we gonna take it to church. We gonna
Take me to church.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to do that.
We gonna take it to the church of Pastor Keion Henderson. What's his church called? I don't know because I didn't do my research. But just recently realized that he is the husband of Shawnee O'Neal. Shawnee O'Neal is the executive producer of Black Basketball Wives. She is Shaquille O'Neal's ex-husband, ex-husband, ex-wife. But there's been this clip circulated where the pastor is in his church. It looks like one of those mega churches. Everything's all clean and neat. You got a big old audience. And you got the praise and worship team on the stage. They're all in white and they're kind of like singing their little hymn. And you hear him, like he and the team are like doing their praise and worship. And you hear a woman audibly crying and sobbing in the background of the clip. And it's coming from the choir. So she's probably mic'd up or there's a mic near her. So that makes it even more audible.
For now.
And Pastor walks over, snaps his fingers, says, "Hey, stop that. Somebody get her." So my first reaction was like, whoa, wait a minute. This is praise and worship in the church. Ain't we supposed to like let our feelings go? Now, since the clip is circulated, Pastor and his wife, Shawnee, did an interview with Tamron Hall, where Tamron Hall asked him about the incident, and Pastor said, "Hey, that's just a clip. People love the clips, not the context." He was like, "This has been going on for 4 years." He was like, "I know the difference between somebody catching the spirit and somebody being disruptive." So he claims that this has been going on for 4 years. He says he has talked to the woman. He's had prayer team go talk to the woman. He's talked to her one-on-one. He's done it all. And he was like, he just had to bring some order into the church right then. Oh, and one thing I forgot to bring up about the clip. When he told her to shush, he said, "I don't want to hear anybody's voice but God." But then he starts kind of singing and it's like, do we want to hear God or do we want to hear you? But Divas, what are your thoughts? Do you think that he was a little out of line, or do you think that it was his job to bring some order to the church?
Order
It's his church.
Well, no. It is not his church. It is the people's church.
You know what I mean.
His job is to control the people. It doesn't matter whether she did it 1,000 times. He hasn't gotten to the root of the problem to help her. So what he should have went over is to go over to his sister hug her and say, we are with you. We are united with you. Let's pray. Let's everybody pray for our sister. Maybe she has something inside her that needs to be released. And he did not do his job as a pastor. Sorry.
I feel that. I feel like it was more about the optics.
Yes.
But you messing up my pretty praise and worship.
Nah, man.
I think he should have held her all right and whispered in her head, I'm gonna need you to shut up. Just like your mama does.
The optics would have been better.
Well, hold. Pause for a second. He did say on his Tamron Hall show that he did have sessions with her, you know, and discussing with her and trying to figure out what's going on and blah, blah, blah. So he has taken the steps on
the side, in the
background, or
right
off page or
off
whatever.
camera.
You ever hear the book of Job where Satan tests you? Maybe Satan was testing him, and guess what? He failed.
I feel like church should be a safe space to
absolutely.
Let that stuff out.
But people act a fool in church regardless.
I mean, I agree. I don't think he handled that very well. And I did see the snippet at his interview with Tamron Hall, and I thought that was more like cover your ass type of thing, because
I got that energy.
If truly he was, you know, he's spoken to her and it's been going on for 4 years, why did he put her up there? Like, why not put her or tell her to go sit in the back?
Right, where you will not be picked up by the mic.
Exactly. But he knew she's going to have this type of wailing reaction. And honestly, you know, when I go to church, when there are things that are going on in my life and, you know, the Father's homily speaks to me or resonates with me, I get very emotional. Now, I'm not a loud person, so I don't think I'm, you know, when I have cried, it isn't audible.
Or disturbing.
It, you know, he should welcome that people are actually relating and feeling or whatever his sermon. Yeah. So and the whole snapping thing was very beyond belief.
It was like, you're the child. Like,
he was at his wit's end right there. That's what it was.
You could tell that was like the last thing.
Now I do see where you're coming from with that, because I was like, okay, at the end of the day, we're all human. Even though he was a pastor, he is a human. I did say it. Yeah, so I was like, okay.
It's not me, Entourage. It is not me today.
But, you know, maybe if in his interview it wasn't so cover your ass, like it came off like it was giving me like Love and Marriage Huntsville vibes. Like, you know, you just gonna say something to show that you in charge and stuff. Like if he would have been like, you know what, I'm human, this happened, I lost my cool, I apologize. You know, it was just like, oh no, I don't get the cool vibes from him. I get the vibes of, and I know he's a pastor and that is, you know, he is leading that church, but I get the vibes that he thinks he up here and
I will say
he
this.
failed.
Okay, so I will say this. Most pastors, most pastors.
Okay, because you know most pastors of the country, of the world, that's why.
No, I'm just saying, okay. You know what I will say is so I have a father and a priest in my church. So I have visited several congregations where there are pastors. Mm-hmm. And most of those pastors, I feel, have that same attitude where they're above, you know, because they're leading these people and they have this air to them. Mm-hmm. Not all, but most of them have this air to them. Now, I agree with you where he could have said, you know what, my bad, I'm human, but
he forgot who he is.
He did,
he forgot
but you know what? But at the same time, he is human. He is human. He probably got tired of it. And it probably was, it's like, you know, when you have a thought and someone just mess up your thought and you like, dang it, chick.
But that was his point too. That was his point too, because he was like, well, we're having this discussion here, and if somebody just started, you'd be like, okay, what's going on? What you doing?
And when I have visited other congregations, I am used to, just like Michelle said, I am used to, even though there are a group of people that I feel the serenity and the calmness and the air that it is just me, the priest talking, me and God, me and my person. And to have that person, in those congregations, when I hear that, it just throws me off and I feel like uneasy and I don't feel complete at the end of whatever because I don't have my peace. So I don't visit those congregations anymore.
I'm at the quiet church.
My own. I'm very content with my own. But I can understand where a person you have in your train of thought, you have your little flow, and then here comes somebody humming and hawing, and I get, people catch the spirit, but it's just like.
So it's like Jesus saying, "Stop your belly aching."
I'm sorry?
It's like Jesus saying, "Hey, stop your belly aching."
Look, what if he did what he said, what he's saying, where, this woman, she's been doing this for a hot minute. I've ignored her, whatever, but we've spoken about it. We've done our discussions and she's still going strong. What next?
My point is, you are a person of God. Suppose she has a very bad spirit inside her and needed an exorcism. So what? You just give up? That's not your job. Your job is to continue
if he put it to the side, then y'all be saying, "Oh, he's a man of God. He put it to the side."
No, he shouldn't put her to the side.
Michelle, what was you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say, like, he needs to counsel her more because obviously she's still going through something. And in the interview with Cameron Hall, he sort of implied that he felt she was a distraction because her reactions were not genuine. It was almost like, oh, she's doing it for attention.
Right.
Well, why is she seeking the attention? Like, you are the pastor. This is your role. You are her counselor. Like, figure it out. But yeah, I think the whole thing just threw me off with the snapping because I just find that so rude.
Yeah.
That was a bit much.
Yeah, I think
it was a bit extra. It was. Yeah. And I probably would have gone more along the lines of my sister, I'm gonna need you to be quiet.
But that's why you could tell he was annoyed. He was annoyed. Yeah.
Yes.
He was annoyed.
That's all the time we have on that one. Entourage, jump in with your thoughts. Are any of y'all members of that church? Have you seen what's been going on? Drop down in the comments, let us know your thoughts, and let us know what you would have done if Pastor had snapped at you. Now, let's take it from the church place to the workplace. Okay.
Dang.
I just came up with that one.
I like that.
All right. So, ex-special Trump, oh my God, my notes. Ex-special prosecutor on the Trump case, Nathan Wade, was interviewed. For those of you guys who are not familiar, Nathan Wade was on the Trump case that DA Fani Willis is handling. Say it again.
Nice photo.
Oh, yeah.
And it's Fani.
Fani, my apologies. Fani Williams is handling. And he has left the case because it's come to light that they had a romantic relationship during the case. So I don't really want to get into the politics of it. I mean, those of you that know more about it, if you have something to jump into. But what I want to focus on is in this interview that Nathan did, he said, workplace romances are as American as apple pie. And Divas, I just want to get your thoughts on that. Are workplace romances common and not a big deal? Or should they be avoided? What y'all got to say about it?
They are common.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I mean, I've had two in my life, two workplaces, workplace romance. I mean, people generally romance the people that they spend a lot of time with. And when you're in the legal field, you spend a lot of time with your coworkers and you're high stress, you're working till wee hours of the morning. And so, yes, there's going to be some
crossover.
Exactly.
I agree that, with the legal field, law enforcement, actor, it's like when you're working with someone for extensive amount of times, in addition to you have a connection where people can't relate because you're a prosecutor, and I'm just gonna throw like, you have a prosecutor and you have a law enforcement that is prosecuting homicide and gangs, or or doing child cases. There is a common ground that other people may not understand, just like with actors. They understand the whole idea of, the outsiders and, common, how people
rejection and all of that.
Exactly. So they understand a lot of, it's like a commonality that draws people together. So yes, do I believe it happens all the time? It's just a matter of people just have to be mindful how they conduct themselves during the course of business.
And that was going to be my next question. What are some of the pros and the cons of these workplace relationships, or what are some things that we should avoid?
People have to be mature and mindful of the fact that keep people out of your business. Don't talk about your business. Don't go, I've seen work relationships that didn't realize that they were together because they made sure that they left at separate times. Whenever they cooked, what they did was, I found out later on that they would cook they made sure that their meals weren't even the same.
It was really
so that people wouldn't know that they were living in the same household.
You had chicken last night? I had beef.
Exactly. I know. So they was just, so because people be in your business, and when you talk too much to someone and you're not even with them, people have a tendency to assume, oh, what's that? So you have to learn to delineate and put the lines between, okay, listen, we got to come up with a plan that we're not always together. We can't have lunch together. We can't do this together. I'll see you at home. Mwah, mwah.
You're talking about if they're keeping it on the down low.
If they're keeping it on the down low. But if you're together and it's not, again, you have to keep a level of professionalism. And I think it works better if people are in different departments, so that the communication doesn't have to be that, so that people don't think that it is favoritism or, things of that nature. I think it's possible.
Yeah. I think it's possible. It's very hard, but like Lava was saying, you have to make sure to have that separation, or like, how when, you'll be a couple and you have an argument at home, and now it's coming to the workplace, you know what I'm saying?
Like, I ain't gonna give you this file because you took the sheets off last night.
Or take sides when there are discrepancies within the office, but not even that doesn't relate to you, where it's other people, maybe people that you associate. So my mate has a beef with somebody. Right. I gotta kind of like stay. It just there gotta be little boxes that need to be created in order to separate certain things. And you don't want people talking and feeling like, oh, he's just saying that because that's his woman. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
was just going to add to what you and Lava have been saying, in that keeping it separate, because when you do allow people to see, or that you guys are in a relationship, because you're in that same setting, I feel like people then feel like they're part of your relationship,
and they're entitled.
And then they give you unsolicited advice about what's going on in your relationship, and you're like, well, this is private. Well, you didn't keep it private because everybody in the office knows.
I've been there before.
Yeah.
And then people end up hating too, because they're hating that you guys are happy and they're miserable, and they start just getting into the crux of your relationship.
Yeah, I agree. But, and also, like what Lava said, one of the pros is having the commonality. So that's definitely a strong pro for a lot of things. Yes.
And you can bounce, like I know, like investigator and prosecutors, where they bounce ideas off of each other, and it makes it actually helps their career in terms of like getting a different perspective, especially when you feel comfortable, arguing, points where one person feels one way, and that kind of strengthens the other person's argument in terms of, okay, fine, if my mate feels this way, I need to make sure that I overcome that, when I'm presenting this particular case, because my mate thinks this. So that means other people think like that. So it presents,
Yeah.
But again, I think
puts
also
puts it a little more human to it, where you're like, nobody thinks like that, but then you're like, wait a minute, this person that I love thinks
exactly.
This is making me think of like all of these drama TV shows where with the workplace relationship.
Absolutely.
You know,
but I think also there has to be a common ground of what you call it, respect, and a common ground where you can be. I think so. I've seen some where they're like best friends, and that's where it's like, oh my God, like I see these severe opposites, but you guys are best friends, and that is so like admirable, and also like for a person who may not be in a relationship, it's something to look forward to say like, oh, like that there's a possibility that something like that can actually
like, you know, they don't have to think like me. I don't need to date the whatever version of me.
Exactly. You know, so
I know we don't have statistics on this, but overall, do you think it actually works?
Like a small percentage
works.
No.
I think it's a small percentage.
I think somebody got to find a new job.
I have to agree. No.
Speaking from experience?
I am speaking from experience. The two office romance that I had, they not in my current profession, but before that, they didn't work because it did, you know, the commonality and, you know, the thing is great, but I think sometimes it's like when couples get together because they both experience some high like stress thing, like, so when that's resolved, you just kind of like, oh, really don't
kind of like a trauma bond or something.
Yeah,
like we bonded over this thing, but
yes. And with work, I just think it becomes too difficult. Especially when one person advances and the other one doesn't, and then you have like the hierarchy and the unbalance um power, unbalance of power. It just, I don't know. I don't think it works.
Good point.
My experiences have been that the ones that I have seen work, they're in the same office, but not the same profession per se within the office.
Okay.
So it has worked, and like I've known like several people, like most of like one is 10, one is 25. They've been together since they graduated. They were together from the time they were in the police academy, and 25 years have passed, but they've never been in the same building, and they've never been in the same unit. And
so they're technically not working together.
Exactly, but we're in the same, you know, they're in the same, you know, office, you know, per se. But again, that's what I mean, where that difference, the one relationship that I saw where that power structure, where it was two partners, oh my God, and they were both, you know, they're both coming up the ranks. They both ended up becoming partners at the same time. But it ended up that, yeah, it didn't work, and it was very ugly, but they realized that they were better off friends, because I think he ended up getting, you know, married again. She quite didn't, but they were still really good friends.
Okay.
Well, that's why they have that saying, right? You don't poop where you
or you eat.
You lay where you lay. You don't. Well, it's really don't shit where you eat.
Well, I mean, but you know, I've heard this before, and this makes a lot of sense to me. Like as adults, like I'm a single adult. Like most of your time, it's like in the workplace. So it's like unless you out there on the apps or you going to like, I mean, hit up the bars or whatever, or you might meet somebody in the grocery store, but your chances are you're around people that you work with. So, you know, if I ever meet someone in my next job, it's just gonna be like, okay, we can't do this for too long. We can't both work here and be together. I don't think that's gonna work for me. But that was a fun one. Divas, thank you for your opinions on that. Entourage, go ahead and drop down in the comments and let us know what you think. What you think about workplace romances. Have you been a part of one? Do you have any workplace romance horror stories? Ooh, we might have to revisit that one.
Have you had a romance, broke up, and then had another romance with the person, another person in the same office?
Yeah. Is it Grey's Anatomy over at your office?
Exactly.
Oh no.
McSteamy, what is it? McSteamy and
McDreamy.
McDreamy.
All right. Now, Divas, I did send you an opportunity to get in a bonus. The Met Gala was yesterday or 2 days
Monday.
ago or so. Did you guys have any favorite looks that you wanted to share with everyone?
I didn't have a look, but I had the concern with the one with the who wore that sand.
Oh, what's her name?
Tyla.
Oh, Tyla, the one
there you go,
where she couldn't walk in the dress.
Yes.
That was
there we
interesting.
go.
And
that
he
was
cut her
interesting.
dress.
Yes, it was very interesting. I just didn't. I wanted more from it. I'm like, if you're gonna go into wear something that is that hard to maneuver, like make
What was the
it
point? Like,
something
how did she get there? Like, what was
maybe
she
they,
gonna
like,
what was she
molded
gonna
her.
do?
Maybe they molded it on her like before the
Yeah,
carpet or
they
something.
didn't think about that.
Well, I think they did. I think it was just the catching attention. I mean, okay,
They did it. They did it.
The theme was Sleeping Beauty's rebirth, and it was supposed to be like from the garden. So I don't know if that was just like a raw, like.
Well, they were saying everything comes from the sand or something like this.
Okay. I loved Mindy Kaling's dress. I did not
So
follow
did I.
instructions. I did not bring a photo.
It was nice.
Yes, if you guys want to look up Mindy Kaling's dress, 2020.
What about Jennifer Lopez? What'd you think about Jennifer Lopez?
You know what? I saw this meme and I can't get it out of my head where they were showing like all of her different dresses and they were like switch it up because they were like similar.
They're similar, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. When I said, didn't you wear that last year or the year before? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, the nude look. Kim Kardashian, I saw her and I was just like, I can't.
I can't in a bad way.
Cardi B's dress was a little interesting. It was a lot, but it was interesting.
That was
her dress was black and it was like big.
Yeah, because then like people had to carry it.
Mm-hmm.
And Nicki Minaj had on a cute little like they called it a 3D flower dress. I hear that she and Cardi were on the carpet like near the same time, which is dangerous because we know they have fought before physically.
Oh,
so I'm glad they didn't bring that drama to the Met Gala. What about you, Michelle? Anybody?
Well, I chose the same person that Joe chose because that just annoyed me to no end. Because I do agree, like I love beautiful fashion and fashion when done right is beautiful. And I just was really annoyed that they literally had to carry her up the stairs.
Right.
And then for her to move, they destroyed the dress.
Yes.
Well, I remember one year Beyonce, like back when she was still going to the Met Gala, she had one of those dresses where she like it was very awkward for her to like go up the steps, but it was a dress. It was I felt like it was a piece of art from what I remember.
Like when Kim Kardashian had who was it, Marilyn Monroe's dress or something, like what was
I think that was last year, I believe.
Right? And it was so tight or whatever, so she had to be like really careful, and that's a very antique dress.
Right.
So she had to be really careful.
It wasn't a replica.
Yeah.
I think Taraji P. Henson's dress was even pretty nice.
Oh, okay. I'm going to have to look that one up. I don't think I saw her.
Yeah, I think that was pretty okay.
The theme was like garden, right?
Yeah, it was like from the garden.
There was like a time element to it too. And that's why this girl, Tyla, she had that hourglass
bag.
Yeah.
And then I guess she was sand. So that makes sense.
Yeah, this thing here.
Mm-hmm. And Demi Moore's dress was really nice.
Yes, right. That was it, Demi Moore.
Okay, I'm trying to search for
Entourage, you're gonna have to search for those pictures too.
Exactly.
Well,
Shakira's dress wasn't that bad.
I didn't see hers.
It was a red dress. It was a red dress that was just like very puffy.
There were a lot of on-point dresses that were
very creative,
spectacular, right? And but they were dresses and people could walk around in them. This one just bothered me because it was like you can't move.
But look, we're talking about it.
For sure.
For sure.
True.
You'll be the one to watch next year.
what I wanted to talk about was well, I'm all about the sports.
Okay.
Angel Reese, that was a big thing. Like, she was invited, but the big controversy was the fact that she forego practice in order to come to the Met Gala. And it was a big thing. Like, you just got a new job, like that, people, it was a fight between and practice.
Gala, like, I'm bringing visibility.
It wasn't a game.
Yeah.
And they were saying, oh, this is like.
Is there a game tomorrow? Like.
So she has a game. So like there was a game I think she's in Chicago. They have a game in New York. They have a game against New York, but I believe the game is in Chicago. And they were like, well, if the game was in New York, then she was fine. But the game is in Chicago. And this is representing your seriousness about your career. I think, of course, people are going to have haters, but they were like, you're not, this is the difference between a true sports person and a person who wants to be like a social influence. People like took it to the
really?
Just wanted to it was her birthday.
One thing.
I mean, look, what happened with what's the name? With Taylor and what's his face when
Kelsey.
they flew?
Yeah.
Like, so what's the difference? Like, what's the difference? And again, if she didn't have a game tomorrow, and even if she did, okay, fine. But if she didn't have a game tomorrow, then it was a practice. Like,
but you know what? Because you brought up Travis Kelce, and I was just thinking about it. I was totally on the other side with the Travis Kelce and the Grammys thing. Remember, I was like, well, he can't go. He can't go. And now I'm like, let her go to the Met Gala.
But now they're saying like, oh, the proof is going to be in the pudding because let's see how she plays.
Now she,
and I'm just like,
watch. Y'all people saying y'all don't really watch. Do y'all really watch the WNBA? Come on now.
Hey, I'm watching. I'm currently watching the playoffs, and the Knicks is winning. I think, but I just didn't see today's game.
These people that talk mess just to talk mess and just want to talk mess about her. They probably don't even support her. They just want to talk mess and bring up.
Exactly. She's living her best life.
I did like. What's this girl? Gigi Hadid?
Yes.
Okay, so
that was different.
That was very nice.
See, you could do it right and still walk.
Absolutely.
Demi Lovato's dress was nice. Did we say Demi Lovato already? Or?
No, Demi Moore.
Demi Lovato's dress was nice.
I didn't see Demi Lovato's dress.
Okay, was it her name Doja?
Doja Cat.
Yeah.
Doja Cat.
She was wearing a towel.
It looked like
a literal towel
when they came out the hotel, and then she was wearing something else. It was like, I don't know. There was like, I don't know if it was like fake blood on her face when she got to the red carpet.
No, I think it's supposed to be like water streaming down her face.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Gosh.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I don't go with that.
She nailed it last year with being the cat because she was what's his name? Kurt Lagerfeld's cat. That was but this one, nah, it's not even no theme. The theme wasn't I just got out the shower.
I know.
Janelle, I didn't know Janelle
Monáe's dress was
a nice
too.
body like that. Her dress was
very nice. It was very nice.
Oh yeah, she been showing off her body for a while.
I think this year there was more hits than misses.
Yeah, I agree.
I think so too.
I agree.
I was looking, sometimes it's like we're always focused on the women, and I wanted to see a man represent. But some of the men, I was just like, really, we can do a little bit better. But I know there's so much a man can do. But I was really trying to look to find a
Billy
man.
Porter wasn't there.
I know his outfit last year was fabulous.
Yeah, I was looking. I'm sorry,
Coleman Domingo.
He looks pretty nice.
Oh, I didn't.
And
I should look horrible.
They at least I think it is hard with a man, but they at least went outside of the norm.
Did you guys see Lizzo's dress? I'm sorry, but she looked like Ursula from the what you call it?
From
the Little Mermaid.
Oh God, it was not.
She did so well last year. I was like, oh.
Yeah, she looked like Ursula. I didn't like that. But I'm trying to look for some men. But there were some simple looks there that were classic simple looks that I thought were like really nice. But I'm trying to find some men. Get the entourage to kind of like help us out.
Yes, entourage, drop on in. Let us know what your favorite looks are. I couldn't let the week go by without mentioning the Met Gala and talking about it.
And did we do it last year too? So
we did
Yes.
a whole, but entourage, if you want to see more in-depth fashion content, drop down on the page. We got a couple fashion reviews, and let us know if that's the kind of content you like, so we can know what you guys like to see. All right, thanks y'all for joining us. My bad, I blanked right there. And we will see y'all next week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us on social media. Date with the Divas on Facebook, Instagram, Date W the Divas on Twitter. All right, see y'all. Bye.
Nice.
deuces.